This is Prey. I tried it a while back, but I ended up not getting into it long term, mostly just because of circumstances. This is the kind of game that I actually get deeply emotionally invested in, and it gets to the point where it's almost stressful to play, and then it's very easy for me to spend time away from it, forget what I was doing, and then lose the thread. And unfortunately, this was a casualty of that quirk of my emotions and the way that I play games, which is too bad. I actually really wanted to play much deeper into this game than I originally did. I originally played it, I think, on PC, but now it's on Game Pass. Now that Microsoft has bought Bethesda, they've got a bunch of Bethesda's back catalog on Game Pass, so it's available at no additional charge, and I'm like, you know what? I've got no excuse. I should try Prey again. So I've forgotten most of how the game is played. I'll be coming at it kind of like a new player. I've got a vague idea of what the beginning is about, though, and that's kind of what I want to share in this video, is the very beginning of the game. Now, watching me play Prey long term might not be all that fun, because this is the kind of game that I try to play perfectly. Like, I want to have my playthrough really represent the way that I play the game. You know, it's an immersive sim, like Deus Ex and stuff like that, and Dishonored. And so because it's along those lines, there's a lot of self-expression that goes into how you play. And so because I get so obsessive about it, I might actually not be that fun to watch playing the game once we get deeper into it, because I'll tend to like obsessively replay sections and stuff like that, try to get everything exactly right. Might not be that fun. But the beginning is just the beginning. And I think this is, you know, if anybody has been interested in Prey but wasn't really sure what it was about or how it worked, maybe this will give you an idea of the level of cleverness that they've brought to bear in this game. I love Arcane. They're such a great developer. So let's get into it. Difficulty normal. No, let's not try anything too hardcore right now. So you get to decide whether you want to be the male version of the character or the female version of the character. Did she have a weird red eye for a second? Oh, yeah, like, now and then there's a little flicker that makes their eye... Yeah, their eye turn red. Oh, that's bizarre. It's already creepy. It's my tradition to choose the female character. That's just how I roll. Maybe it's just a lot of really good time spent with FemShep in Mass Effect. Or just my love of Lara Croft. I don't know.
Good morning, Morgan. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2032.
Hey, Morgan. Wake up. You're burning daylight. Send a helicopter to pick you up. It's just a few tests. Don't forget to wear your suit. See you soon. Oh, listen, really great you decided to come on board. We're gonna shake things up, Morgan. Like old times.
All right, so the first thing I always have to do is change my look inversion. Boink. There we go. Now I feel like a person. So this is my apartment. It's lovely. I've got a bunch of stuff to read, but I don't read stuff. Ah, yeah, let's definitely keep some wine on me. That'll be important. Congrats! The Heart of the Walk. Yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff here to read. What the? What was that? Oh, so when I see that open hand, that means I'm about to climb up on something? Or no? I just hit the wrong button. I must have just accidentally hit the wrong button. I've just been playing another game, so it's very likely that I've got my controls messed up. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be hard for me to like put things back. I'm just making a mess. I'm making a mess in my apartment. Oh, so check this out. It's telling me subtly that... Okay, let me just take this stuff. It's telling me subtly that in the future, I'm going to be able to pick up refrigerators. I love that. Like little subtle things like that, where if you're paying attention, you're like, what is this game going to be about? I'll be able to carry refrigerators? When do I learn how to do that? But what they want me to do is take my uniform. All right, before I go outside, though, let's make sure that I've really looked around here. So there's a bunch of stuff to read, whatever. I'm illiterate. Oh, look, there's a picture of my family. So it's me, our parents, my brother, Alex, who's the one who was talking to me on the phone. What a lovely bathroom in here. This is a nice apartment. I mean, it's kind of a studio, but, I mean, I'd live here. I guess if I was single, I wouldn't want to cram, a family of 6 in here. But for single person, this is actually, his apartment is made almost entirely of view. All right, let's go.
Morning, monsieur.
Hello. Press A to jump. Click left stick to sprint. My floor. Let's go to the roof for the helicopter. Nope, that's jumping. I was just playing Portal 2, and there's this great comedy sequence where whenever you want to talk to Wheatley, you end up accidentally jumping. And so when I keep accidentally jumping in this game, it just makes me think of that moment, which was funny. Mostly because of Stephen Merchant. All right, let's get on this helicopter. Oh, listen to that soundtrack. It's a little bit loud, actually. Let me pull that down.
Monsieur, please make yourself comfortable and we'll be on our way. TranStar facility is just a short hop. 78 degrees. Clear skies all the way.
Oh, look at all this. Look at this beautiful city. Wow. Cogs242 said, did you mention something that allowed one to have a preset configuration, like look-in version, across multiple games? Yeah, that was called Xbox 360. The version of
nice view on the bay there.
Yeah, that's right. They're like, hey, look at the credits, dude. Yeah, there was a configuration that you could have on the Xbox 360 where you would just say on your profile what your look conversion setting was, and then every game could check that and inherit it. That was great, and they didn't continue it to the Xbox One, and they didn't continue it to the Series X. I want that back. I desperately want that back. I mean, it just seems like a valuable accessibility feature, right? Like, there's lots of settings that you could give people where they could just say, yes, I always want my subtitles on. Yes, I always want colorblind mode, this particular type of colorblind mode in my, in the UI, stuff like that. And just let them turn it on in one place and then let games just inherit that information. But, nope, unfortunately.
Here we are, mind the glass on the way out. Good luck to you.
Unfortunately, not all progress is forwards. Sounds a lovely helicopter ride, right?
Hello, Dr. Yu. I'm a Sybil 495 science class operator.
Okay, great. Nice to meet you.
Welcome, Morgan Yu. You have a 9 a.m. appointment in the testing facility. Please confirm.
So, here's something I love about these elevators. So there's a hotel that I've been to south of Seattle that has got this weird elevator system where outside the elevator you type in like what floor you want to go to, and you use your room number, your room tag or whatever key, that's the word. You use your room key, the key card, to sort of confirm, yes, I'm allowed to go to that floor. And then it tells you which elevator to get into. And then when you get into the elevator, you don't push a button. The elevator just takes you to the floor that you predetermined. And it basically just doesn't give you the ability to just bounce around to whatever floor you want. Like you actually, it has more control over it. And in a game like this, where they're trying to simulate that you're in a large complex, but each elevator only gives you access to limited locations, that can feel weird sometimes in a game. You're like, oh, this is an elevator that only goes between 2 floors, even though allegedly this building has got 40. And it always feels kind of fake. But they've set this up so that this elevator reads who you are and only gives you access to the things that you're supposed to have. And so that means that I'm totally willing to suspend my disbelief about future elevators that I run into that only go to certain places, because that's how these elevators work across the board. And there I am jumping again. Why do I think I pushed the A button to interact? What game have I been playing where I press the A button to interact? Outriders uses the X button to interact. That's the main console game I've been playing. Like my game is all like Y button to interact. Why am I pushing A? It's so weird. Where did I get that? What game do I think I'm playing?
Morgan, finally.
Can you guys hear Alex talking okay? Well, he's not talking
Hey.
now. Oh,
You don't look terrible in a TranStar uniform. How's your eye? Still red? I know the test might seem a little unconventional, but it's a you family tradition. Breaking convention is in our blood. Once you start the test, just do whatever comes natural. Don't overthink it. Dr. Bellamy's going to walk you through the process. You're in good hands. We'll be in orbit next week. I promise.
Mr. Yu, they're ready for your sister in room A.
Right. Listen, just be yourself. I'll see you after.
Dr. Yu.
okay. So I want to read something from Maneth Cord real quick. Oh,
I'm Dr. Bellamy.
never mind.
Looks like we have some tests to run through today. Probably not the kind of thing you're used to, I imagine, but trust me, you're going to do fantastic.
Okay, before we continue, I want to read this thing that Raneth Cord said in the chat. This is a paraphrased quote from a dev of a different game feature about an unrelated thing to look inversion, but it says, only 0.1% of users would use this feature, whereas almost all users use new content, so it isn't worth adding that feature. On one hand, it makes sense that less used features should be lower priority, but on the other hand, there are some things worth adding even if a low percentage of people use it. Yeah, so I absolutely agree. It's this weird balancing act where it's very easy when you're in a development setting and you're having people sort of like, are discussing priorities, right? If somebody doesn't like a particular feature, one of the easiest things for them to say to undercut it is how many players are really going to use this? And do we have data to back up the idea that somebody might use this feature? And if you have to say, well, only 5% of players are actually going to do this, it's very easy to just undercut it more and be like, well, then why are we spending time on this instead of on something that everyone sees? The problem is that number one, like, everyone belongs to some 5% group of players, right? Like, if I'm not, even if I'm 95% on most things, there's some group for which I'm 5%. And so, like, it's not like there's only, that less common features or less common, accommodations or something like that. It's not like there's 5% of players who want all of those things and 95% who want zero. It's little tiny 5% all over your audience, right? And so if you just are always rejecting things that 5% of your audience will like, eventually you're going to disappoint 100% of your audience if you just keep saying no to all of those. That's one issue. Another issue is the fact that my enjoyment of a game is not 100% about the things that I actually touch. Like that I actually see, that I actually experience myself. A big part of the experience of a game is the breadth that I imagine the game to have. And so, like, for instance, a lot of people say, well, let's not spend a lot of time on the boss battle at the very end because only 5% of players are going to get there. Instead, let's put all of our effort into the beginning of the game because everyone's going to see that. And while that's true, you do need to put a ton of extra effort into the beginning of the game that everyone sees. The knowledge that there's a cool ending in this game is important to a player who's playing the beginning of the game, even if they're unlikely to have the 20 or 30 hours or whatever it takes to get to the end of your game, or if you're nice to us, 8 or 10 hours that it takes to get to the end of the game. Even if they don't have that much time, even if they're not necessarily going to devote that much time to the game and get there, their knowledge that there is something there and them hearing from other players that there's something cool there is part of why they enjoy the present in the game. If you think that the ending's going to suck, you don't enjoy the beginning. That's one reason why, I played Mass Effect 1 and 2, like 3 full playthroughs each with 3 different characters. I had my Paragon character, my Renegade character, and my idiot who gets everyone killed character. Because I felt like those are sort of the 3 main, directions that the game could go. And so, yeah, so I played, but with Mass Effect 3, after I got to the end and I was disappointed by the ending, I didn't go back and do those other playthroughs because anticipating the ending is such a huge part of the beginning. And so similarly, like if, like a game like RimWorld, for instance, where a lot of the depth of the game you only really uncover after playing it for dozens of hours. Most players are not going to play dozens and dozens, hundreds of hours of RimWorld, but it's what they hear from other players that have played all of that content that makes them inspired and excited about the early content. And so it's sure, like, should you make something for RimWorld that only is for the 5% super hardcore players? Yeah, because those players get really excited and really loud about sharing what an amazing experience they're having, and that amps up the experience of what the earlier players and what maybe the less committed, more casual players are imagining is going to be in the game. So most of a game takes place in the player's imagination. Only a small amount is actually on the screen and in their hands. Most of it's in their imagination. It's less of it than, say, a novel. A novel, way more of it is in their imagination. A game, we're giving you more things, more tools to sort of facilitate the fantasy, but still it's mostly in the imagination. So what you do for 5% of the players can still affect the imaginations of 100% or some, percentage in between. And so while people who say, we should focus on the things that everyone sees, they are right to an extent. That does need to probably be the larger priority. If you completely discount the stuff that is for the tinier part of the audience, then you're really undercutting the experience for everybody. And so, like, there are some features, like, the thing is, it's really hard for even someone who believes this. Like, I believe this. It is still hard for me to set those priorities too. Like, it is a struggle to sort of arrange your priorities in a way that actually lines up that way. Even if you actually believe everything I just said, which I do. Like, it's hard for me to follow through with it. And so you will see us, like, we will do it on State of Decay 2 as well, prioritizing the features that we know everyone sees over the ones that smaller amounts of people see. But I and lots of other people on the team are putting forth a concerted effort to make sure that stuff that the super hardcore, long playing elder players, the stuff that they want, doesn't get completely abandoned. That we also, like, we did a green zone first, but we did a lethal zone. We just did the lethal zone afterwards, because, whatever, because that was how the priorities lined up. And so, like, right now there are people, I just mentioned offhand on Twitter that we're going to, be maybe revealing just a little bit more stuff than usual at the next stream. And people started popping up with, I hope it's this feature, I hope it's that feature. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not any of those features. We're not actually even, like, you got to watch the stream tomorrow. You'll see what it is. But I felt bad because, like, some of those features are like, yeah, I really actually wish we were announcing that feature. It would be great to be able to do that feature right now. It's gotten, prioritized behind a couple of broader, more things that are valuable to the broader audience. But I'm still working really hard behind the scenes to make sure that some of those features stay on the schedule and that they happen in short order. They happen after the things that are necessary for the broader audience, but they still have to happen, because if we lose that elder audience, they're the ones who are, driving a lot of enthusiasm around our game. So we need everybody. We need to have the big audience, but we also need to have the small audience. Yeah, and of course, the conversation around a game is that small sliver of the audience that's most committed. They are 95% of the conversation around the game, and the conversation around the game is really important to not only just how the game is sort of perceived by the outside world, how many people try the game, but also just it informs the imagination of the people who are playing it for the first time. Anyway, that was a big distraction. I just we've been talking about the fact that a lot of these, like, big discussions about game design and priorities and stuff like that, and the business of games. I often do them between games, and so they end up not in recorded videos. And so I figured I'd jump in and handle this one right now since Randall Cord brought it up. And yeah, okay, so Cogs points out, says that the title for this video should focus on the game discussion that was worth pausing the game for. We'll have to see. Well, I don't know what title I would give this exactly to let people know, like, that we had a discussion in here about serving sort of the 5% audience versus the 95% audience. That might be a hard thing to come up with a pithy, clickbaity title for. I'll at least put it in the description, though, so it shows up with the thumbnail when it's posted on social media and stuff like that. Maybe we'll have to say something about it, because you're right. People should know, when I'm doing more than just playing the beginning of a game. But that said, let's keep playing this game.
All good? Great. Let's begin. For this first test, I'd like you to remove the boxes from the red circle as quickly as you can. Just go with your gut. Okay? Wonderful. Press the red button when you're ready. Wonderful. That's... You're absolutely fine. Let's move on to room B, then.
This reminds me so much of Portal, where it's just like they're trying to be nice to you all the time, but making sure to subtly hint that you're terrible.
Okay, Morgan, listen carefully. I'd like you to do your best to hide in this room. Take your time, relax, think it over. No, I'm kidding. You only have 9 seconds. Hit the red button when you're ready to start.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, I was distracted. I glanced over to look at the chat to read what people were saying, and completely forgot what he said I should do. What am I here to do?
The red button starts the test.
I'm gonna fail. He says I need to hide? He's gonna be disappointed.
Look, is she? She's hiding behind the chair.
Any synaptic register at all? No? No, that's fine. Sorry, let's keep things moving, Morgan. Head into room C. You're doing marvelous.
Oh, their contempt for me is great.
All right. Here we go. For this test, please press the blue button across the room as quickly as you can in the most natural, intuitive way possible, without thinking. Just go for it. Press the red button when you're ready.
It feels like they're testing me for psychic abilities, and I'm just doing normal stuff instead. Like maybe I was supposed to blast the boxes with telekinesis, or turn invisible, or something.
Dr. Yu.
Fine.
Morgan, we're ready. I'm sorry, can someone please explain to me what's happening? Simmons?
I installed exactly what Tina brought down.
Did you double check?
Speaker's still on.
I apologize, Morgan. We're having some trouble with the equipment. Not your fault. You're doing fabulous, actually. One last room. Let's step into D.
So, okay, here's what I love about this intro. They're doing so many things at once. Number one, they're teaching me how to do basic game controls, the absolute most basic stuff. They're doing it in a setting that's hinting to me that they're expecting more. It's not just they're disappointed by my hiding abilities. They didn't give me the ability to hide. Like they didn't it's clear I'm supposed to be doing something weird. And so it's hinting that there's something weird in this world that I haven't seen yet. So it's like kind of creating this a little bit sense of suspense. And they're also achieving comedy because of how disappointed they are in me all the time. This is just serving so many roles all at once.
Can someone get me a cup of coffee? I would appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, Morgan. Have a seat at the table for me, please. Wonderful job. Take a look at the screen in front of you. I'm going to show you a series of questions. Pick the answer that makes the most sense to you. Press start on the screen when you're ready. Good. Looks like you've got the hang of it. Keep going.
It was worth it.
Ooh, that's heavy stuff. Good. Next.
So normally I think I would actually have a lot of trouble with the trolley problem, with taking action to, basically kill one person instead of 5 people. Because just being involved at all suddenly makes me culpable for the whole thing, and it would be really difficult for me to do that. In that case, though, when it said that people were not just on the track, but tied to the track, it felt like actually I was in the middle of a sadistic game, and if I'm in the middle of like a Jigsaw-style game, then yeah, I'll have to just make whatever pragmatic decision I can. When it's just like there's an accident about to happen, the idea of killing someone to stop the accident always feels a little bit weird to me. But so anyway, that's why I give the answer that I did to the trolley problem. And see this one, pushing the fat man, it's like First of all, I wouldn't believe that would work. But this is one of diverting the train in the sort of like weird sadistic puzzle. That's one thing. Shoving someone and killing them in the hopes that it will save somebody else, like directly killing them yourself, I don't think I could pull that off. That's not. Yeah, there's lots of different ways you can construct your morality, and I don't necessarily think that stepping back and having a godlike view of all the consequences and, choosing with that kind of like detached pragmatism makes that much sense as a moral foundation. Just because, for one thing, people are able to use that kind of thinking to justify all kinds of horrendous stuff where they're like, but it's for the greater good. I'm like, no, I think none of us should be comfortable with pushing a fat man in front of a train, regardless.
Almost done.
Kipsy Bimsa points out that pushing the fat man in this case will stop the train. I get that. It's hard to imagine a world where I would be that confident in the outcome. And so it's hard for me to sort of represent myself as being that detached, that I would sort of like be sure of it the way that in the rules of a game you would be sure of something. So it's still hard to, because it's sort of describing you really doing something, I have trouble saying I would do this, because I never actually would be confident that pushing a fat man in front of a train would stop the train. Oh, jumping on the track yourself. I love that push the fat man. It's still on the list. So now I think that it would be, wait, are they calling me a fat man? I think they're calling me a fat man. Was this written for my brother? Okay, that was kind of rude. Okay, so this decision is interesting. So if the only alternative is killing myself. Now, do I think that it would be morally right for someone to sacrifice themselves to save others? Absolutely. In theory. Could I do it myself? I mean, my fear of death is extremely strong in moments like that. Or it's less my fear of death, it's more my fear of pain. Like, I've got decent life insurance. I'm not that afraid of... Anyway, and I've accomplished a lot of things in my life. Like, I'm not that scared of death in the abstract, but the experience of being hit by a train, I am terrified of. So I don't know if I could pull it off. Like, I could abstractly think that this is the right thing to do. If it's between jumping on myself and pushing the fat man, that might be the time when I would push the fat man. I don't know if my panic over potentially getting killed myself would actually drive me to doing something I would not normally do. Or if I would just freeze. It's really, really hard to say. Randothcord points out that in the fall the other day, I was more than willing to kill many, many robots in order to save the person that I cared about. That's true. It was the only choice in the story, and I was aware of that. But at the same time, because that has to do with, like, well, how do you value different kinds of life, right? And it really sort of, like, I would have to value a robot life over a human life, to value any number of robot lives over a human life, I would have to be convinced that robot sentience is real. And it seems like theoretically that should be possible to convince me of that, but certainly nothing in the real world ever has. And so in that context, that's kind of how the angle I decided to take towards it. I was just like, if these robots really are just robots and are not really having a first-person experience the way that I'm having, then yeah, killing any number of them to save a human can be justifiable. I'm just saying push the fat man.
Interesting. Well done. Well done. We're nearly through it. For this next part, I'm going to display an image. I want you to take a good look at it. In a moment, I'm going to ask you what... is my coffee? It's empty.
Yeah!
Oh my god! Security! Security!
Wait, why are you gassing me? What did I do?
Alex,
Simmons, what's going on?
we have a problem.
What about Morgan?
She's alive, sedated.
Clean it up. I'm on my way.
Clean it up is what they say about he says about his
Good
sister.
morning, Morgan.
Oh.
Today is Monday, March 15th, 2032.
Is that the same day? Is it always March 15th? All right, I'm getting the creepy "Is this Groundhog Day" music. F paradox? So I can read my emails, I guess. Wait, what? Okay. I'm betting there were normal emails here the first time. I just didn't read them. Door's jammed. Everything seems normal. We can't leave without getting dressed. Kim Sabims has reminded me to put on clothes before I leave through the balcony door. Wait. What? Yeah. Nope. I need a wrench. Okay, we've got some spare parts there. Can I just take? Take. There we go.
Hello, Morgan. It's time we spoke. My code name is January. You're not dreaming. What happened yesterday was real. If you want to know what's going on, first, you need to get out of your apartment building. You're not safe.
Okay, so this was the route that I followed last time, and it is a wall now. So... Can I go this way? What? So, obviously, I've played Prey before. I knew this was coming, but... Look at that! Even the little shards of glass show the simulation. Look at that. Oh, it's such a great moment. Such a great beginning to a game. You have to question everything from now on.
Good. You're in the simulation lab. Now get to the exit. I'll keep in contact.
Okay, so... say from out here, you can see into my apartment, and just see this faint little shimmer from the simulated landscape. Okay, so what I'm curious about is what the other side... what the hallway looks like. Everything's busted around here. Broken glass, streaks on the floor, spilled stuff. Some kind of evil chair. No password. What's this say? Password! There we go. Emails. Reminder about company password policy. Don't have crappy passwords. Don't leave them on sticky notes. All right. So people are installing neuromods. Yep. I don't have a safe combination, do I? See, and this is the point where watching me play this game would start to get not very fun, because I want to, I'm supposed to be having this adventure and being scared and running around, but I'm like, how do I get into this safe? See, somebody's erased the safe combination. It looks like, is that a 5? Like a V? And, I'm not sure. What's that middle one? Something's making noises. I want to open the safe. Oh, it's going to have 4... I don't know. That's not right. You see? I can't read this. I can't. Oh, can I flip the board? I don't think so. I can't carry it anyway. That noise is creepy though. Yeah, if I had another view mode or something like that, that might be interesting, but no, I can't. Okay, see, I'm gonna get stuck on that. I'm gonna get stuck on it, and it's gonna be really boring for people to watch. I've got a wrench, and I can do charged attacks with it. Why is it telling me about my wrench and attacking things? Oh, hello. So there was always like a hidden door into my apartment. Cool, 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 cool. Oh, I'm assuming this plastic tubing is going to be really valuable to me later crafting stuff. All right, so this is the route that I took to the elevator. And check out the helicopter, right? Now, I don't know exactly how they're saying this all fit together. But I just love that they give these, like, yeah, sure, I'll take some wine. Why not? What the? What was that? What was that? They've got a lot of wine around for a professional place here. Oh, they can look at me through here? Okay, now we're back at the beginning. Oh, but I gotta pick up more resources, obviously. So yeah, this is why I don't usually stream games like this. I have to thoroughly check every little bit. And I feel really bad if I miss a puzzle and don't solve it. Whoa! Little weird things. Okay. Okay, so this is... Oh, whoa, you see that? It just crawled into that. Whoa! These things are everywhere. Alright, so the hallway is just part of my... So I'm just trying to figure out the geometry of this place. So originally the hallway came out here. Can I actually fight these things? Maybe I don't want to. Maybe I just want to get in the elevator. Go to the... Why do I jump when I'm pushing buttons? Okay, that's not happening. I guess it was fake anyway. I don't know what they did with that elevator to eventually get me into the helicopter. But it was probably creepy, probably involved sedating me or something. Yeah, so this is... Oh my gosh. It's just pretending to move. Ah. Okay, here's the test facility. No, I'm not reading that. Ah, medical kits. Ah! There's a thing!
Typhon cacoplasmus. Everyone calls them mimics. Be careful what you pick up.
So as I understand it, and I knew this even going into the game for the first time, these things can disguise themselves as common objects. So pretty much anything could be an enemy, which is hilarious. Like the coffee cup that guy picked up. All right. Oh, and here we are above my apartment. This whole thing is just to creep me out as much as possible. Sure, I'll take the apple off the corpse. So, ah! Okay, so there's a thing called a mimic tumor in this inventory, but I have to have a special skill to take it out. Gross. I've completely forgotten what these resources are for, but I need every single one of them regardless. Oh, holy crap, look at that! So it looks like a rooftop. So you get into an elevator, it doesn't go anywhere. You get out, you're here. It looks like you're on a rooftop. Wow. I guess I'll try to go through these decontamination doors? Ah! Oh, please don't do that to me, thank you. Oh, it's so excited to get in here. There are more of it? No.
No one has been able to stop the mimics from multiplying since they broke containment. I'm going to help you stay alive. Just a little further.
How about helping me stay alive a lot further? Nothing? There could be monsters everywhere. Urgent? Bellamy's taken data related to mimicry and remote manipulation out of the research department. Get to the trauma center and grab the key card to his cabin off his body. Sorry to be morbid, but Alex will lose his shit if someone else finds that data. Okay, so I'm looking for Bellamy's corpse now. Play your way. All right, experiment with different approaches to overcome challenges and enemies. I love that they have this section here. They're like really trying to underscore for you that there isn't one right answer to things, that you're trying to find your own expressive way through the puzzles. So I can search for the key card. I can find an alternate path. I can use special abilities. I kind of enjoy these like games like this. I think Doom 3 was the one that sort of pioneered this, like interacting with like touchscreen interfaces without actually having to zoom in on the screen. It's just part of the world. Wait, do I want crumpled paper? I don't know. Okay, so this is the door I need to get through. Why are they attacking me? Where did it go? Did it die? Or did it just hide better? Oh, there it is. Okay. So I need to get through that door. Ah! Whew, all right. Flammability tests canceled indefinitely. I don't even want to know what that means. All right. Ah, keycard. Was there another way that... I could have gone out of this room? Oh. Ah! What is this guy? Please don't fight me.
That was a phantom. Typhon Anthrophantasmus. Keep moving.
Huh. Nice. Okay, they give you these optional tutorials you can look at if you are about to interact with something that you don't aren't really familiar with. So many objects can be repaired if you have the repair skill and enough spare parts. To repair an object, hold the Y button until it's repaired. All right. And so I should probably keep my head up here because my health is down below. So I can't repair it, so I won't. I don't even know what that thing is anyway. What is this? Ooh. Ah! I've got a glue cannon, so I can fire it with RT. So it can extinguish flames, temporarily stop electric arcs. When hardened, it can be used as a climbable platform. That is an extremely valuable tool. How do I switch weapons, though? Okay, it looks like Y. I don't want to leave that thing alive over here. Oh, there it is. It feels like these mimics, like the way their AI works, it feels like maybe there are specific mimic opportunities that are deliberately scattered on a level, because that's the third mimic that's come over here and acted like a chair. I feel like there must be something like they've explicitly set up these opportunities around the world, and the mimics are not just sort of grabbing anything. They're going for particularly scripted stuff. Ah, that is too many of them. Oh. Okay. Hi there, buddy. That's only one of them. Okay, oh, like... Oh, okay. He didn't notice me because I hid.
Morgan, there. In the foyer. Grab the neuromod you see in the display case. Normally it's a fake, but I swapped in a real one for you. The neuromods are critical. You won't survive without using them to install new aptitudes. I've already updated your transcribe with the list you requested. Take a look.
All right. I want to go up there, but there's a bunch of aliens or whatever these are. I don't know what these are. Did we create these? What's this? Projector. Okay, nothing around here looks particularly valuable. Okay. Okay, fine. I'm just putting off the inevitable. I do need to go up there. Ah, what the? What was it in? Okay, my health is low. I probably need to figure out how to use health kits. Or something. 30 health points? That seems appropriate. How do I use it? With the X button. Good enough for now. Alright, we'll do this. Neuromod, huh? The Neuromod is a revolutionary TranStar invention that allows you to use learn new skills and abilities. Press that button to open up your transcribe and navigate to the Neuromod section. Or you'll send me there by yourself. That's fine. Okay, so I can make my medkits more effective right after I used medkits. Great. Ooh, bypass security measures on computers and robotic systems. That sounds good. Can lift heavy stuff. Oh, I can repair things. And Increase my health. These all sound interesting. They all seem like they're going to unlock stuff. Like, this is going to unlock security stuff. This is going to unlock fixie stuff. I mean, this is going to unlock, you know, whatever, anything that's blocked by a heavy thing. The hard part here is sort of deciding, I feel like I'm deciding which content I should miss out on, which is rough. So I'm going to pick repair because I saw a specific thing that I wanted to repair. Oh my gosh, no.
I knew you would pick that. Now, let's get you to the main lobby.
All right. I'm going to go try repairing that thing, though. What was this thing? I don't even know. Oh, I need more spare parts? Fine. Probably a way in here. Don't know what it is yet. Looks like this is red. What the? I guess that could have been worse. All right. Favorites wheel. Favorites wheel allows you to quickly select equipment. You hold Y, move the L. Okay, got it. So I can switch between my equipment, or I can just tap Y to switch between the most recently used two. Are we sure? Yes, we are sure. And of course, more dead bodies. Oh, he's pleading.
You made it. Ready for your first real view of the world?
I don't know. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I forgot I was in space. Nice. Oh. Oh, well, that sucks.
Careful. You need to get to your office. I've updated your map. There's a video you need to see. I know you have a lot of questions.
Talos 1 is open for you to explore. From the lobby, you can reach other parts of the space station via the bulkhead doors and lifts. You may return to the lobby and other areas you've discovered as often as you like. So, okay, that's actually a reason why maybe I shouldn't feel quite so worried about missing out on things, because I can always go back. And it's very kind of them to set up a game like this way. So they don't need to be scared. Like, for instance, oh no, if I don't grab the repair skill soon enough, I'll miss out on things that I could repair and maybe, you know, collect things or see things that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. Like, I can always go back. So that should actually fill me with confidence. Used cigar. I'm sure I need that for some reason. Shotgun shells. That actually does sound useful. All right, this is a larger area. It's going to take some time to explore. So maybe this is something that I should do a little bit more of on my own time. I feel like I've kind of given a sort of a little bit of a grounding in what kind of game Prey is and the kinds of like weird surprises that it has in store. So I think let's pause this for now. Now, if folks are interested in seeing me play and show, you know, more of Prey, definitely let me know in the comments. Let me catch up with the chat real quick and see if there's anything else we want to talk about. So Zarnathium asks, do you ever dream of a game design? So my dreams are strange. My dreams, like, whenever somebody depicts a dream in like a movie or TV as, this is very loud music, as something that is coherent, that tells a specific story, that might have like meaning for the person's life. Whenever I see something like that, I'm like, well, that's not what dreams are like. Now, I don't know. Maybe other people have dreams like that. Oh, shush. Pause, game. Anyway, maybe that's what some other people's dreams are like. Mine are never coherent or useful. Mine are usually just like nonsensical flashes of situations, where, just weird things happen. And sometimes it's scary, but it's scary because it's weird, not necessarily because it's actually a thing that would be scary if you actually saw it in a horror movie. It just feels more like my brain is running through situations and emotions kind of arbitrarily, and it doesn't feel like it means anything. So no, I don't think I could ever, I doubt I could ever have a dream of a coherent game design. Now, I do remember having some dreams when I was younger where it felt like I was in the middle of a world or a situation that I thought was really, really interesting. I was like, oh, wow, this fantasy world would be a really exciting place to set a story or something like that. But when I woke up, either I would forget it or it was, I think it might even be more likely that there was nothing there, that like what I was dreaming was the experience of feeling awe at a great idea, but not actually the idea itself. Like, cause you don't actually need, like, your emotions, your brain can trigger them anytime it wants to, and usually it triggers them in response to coherent stimuli, but sometimes not. Like the feeling of inspiration you get of like, wow, this world is so amazing. Oh, can you see all the complexity and the interesting stuff? Whoa, I'm having such a great time thinking of this idea. That experience can be completely just given to you by your brain for no reason. And so I think that's the closest I've ever come to having a great idea in my sleep while I'm dreaming, is my brain simulating that experience based on absolutely nothing. And yeah. Cog says that I probably don't dream because I never sleep. It certainly feels that way sometimes. I tend to, I have trouble going to bed before midnight just because it just feels like not bedtime. But then I keep waking myself up at 5:30 in the morning to come and stream in the morning because that's the time when I, am interfering the least with other people's schedules by streaming. So Nathium says, my dreams are all over the place. I do have full-on stories most times, but once in a while I get something really different. Like I did have a game come to me in a dream. A big part of the game also, just where it goes towards the end, was the only thing missing. Oh, that's cool. See, if people can have coherent dreams, that's awesome. That's not my experience with them. But I'm kind of jealous of people who have useful ideas in their sleep. It seems just because half the reason I'm an insomniac is just because it always feels wasteful to be asleep. I want to be awake, accomplishing things, and or just having like experiences like this, playing a video game. That's what I enjoy doing with my time, and just spending my time inert, not enjoying anything and not accomplishing anything just doesn't feel worthwhile. And so I'm always fighting sleep all the time, finding ways to sleep less and live more. And it's not good for me, but that doesn't stop me apparently. All right, anyway, let's wrap up this video. So if you would like to subscribe to my channel, there'll be a button right there on YouTube later on. And, there's going to be videos here, the usual drill. I don't even know what to say anymore. I've said this so many times.